So if you're just joining us,
we're embarking on an interesting topic.
We're in the middle of a conversation with Jeff Thompson, Beth Gustin, Robin Ennis.
Oh yeah, Wellness Wednesday with Beth and Robin. Gonna settle it down. Oh yeah, get your feet planted on the ground. Wellness Wednesday.
I think there's a difference in physical energy and mental energy and what drains each and how we replenish each.
Whenever these little red flags or these little things pop up in my mind, it's like, stop, Jeff, stop. Let's do that.
I feel like the more resiliency you have, you're able to handle life's challenges better, and it's not so depleting.
That, or we could discuss what we personally do for wellness.
Oh.
That was Jeff's topic idea.
I was thinking about that. I said, what do I do? Oh, I know what I do, but I don't know what you guys do. And I wonder if other people, because I was at a thing for the White Cane Day, and a guy says, yeah, I used to listen to Blind Abilities. I said, well, what do you mean you used to? He says, well, you've been doing this Wellness Wednesday. I mean, I just go for a walk. That's my wellness. How do you know we don't talk about going for a walk on Wellness Wednesday? He says,
right.
I don't know.
So he doesn't like our podcast, which is fine. We're not going to please everybody, but I'm confused.
Right.
He just thought to himself that his wellness, I just go for a walk. Like maybe he thinks, and I was thinking, that's what he does for wellness.
I mean, that could work, yeah. Well, I would feel like an imposter if I'm like, I am so great with self-care.
Which maybe is worth talking about. Like, hey, we're human too, and this is hard.
Right.
And, I teach my clients about the 6, 7, or 8 domains of self-care. Take your pick on which model you're using.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at that going, I don't do anything for 90% of these consistently.
You've probably been doing it so long that you probably don't recognize the things that you're doing to keep you on track.
But are we on track? Like what I hear
This
Beth
is a good
saying,
conversation.
This is a good conversation. Can this be the podcast, actually?
We're rolling.
But
we are recording.
But that's a good point, right? So how do you know if you're on track if you're not feeling energized, right? So and I'm feeling that way too. I feel drained, and it's trying to figure out. And then also too, it's like trying to find time to incorporate it. And then, okay, well, what can I incorporate it? And will I have time to be able to do that?
Right. Because the biggest thing I hear from my clients, and as I'm looking at, taking a hard look at myself in the mirror, which I don't look in the mirror, just for the record. But anyway.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. I like that. That's a good one.
The biggest thing I hear them say is, I don't have time. I don't have time. And I've looked at myself and gone, well, you say you don't have time either, but can you use your time differently? Or as I tell my clients, okay, you've got a commute to work for some of you, so can you utilize that time to read a book for fun? Or can you listen to music? Or can you, do something that you enjoy, because you can't focus on work or home if you're driving in the car. So it forces you to do something maybe more for you. Or if you only got 5 minutes, okay, can you change that cup of coffee you drink in the morning to 5 minutes of like, I'm just going to drink my coffee and really enjoy it, and maybe set my intention for the day, or maybe remind myself like, hey, I'm doing okay, even though I feel like the world's falling apart. I am able to still decide when I brush my teeth, or when I go to bed, or what I choose to eat.
Mm-hmm. So actually, but see, I don't know if it makes me feel energized. So listening to the both of you I love showers. And I try to find that balance, right? Because I don't want to be wasteful with water. But I like just standing there and zoning out for a bit, or paying attention to the temperature of the water. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe that could be. I just don't know how to figure out where it could energize me to make me feel more ready for the day.
I'm like you though, Robin. Like, I don't feel energized by the things that we would define as wellness or self-care. I have to be more like, I'm going to go do game night with friends. That energizes me. I want to go to the mountains and just breathe in some mountain air. That grounds me, but also energizes me.
Yeah.
Those things are harder to do.
What energizes me is not doing stuff that takes my energy away. And so by, like you said, Robin, standing in the shower like that, enjoying the water, enjoying the moment, it's what you're not putting your mind at task to that is letting your mind rejuvenate a bit. And I do that too. I like when you said set your day's intention to set a course that you want to do today. And the thing that I do along the way is when I notice something, like I'm walking from the garage back to the house and I think, oh, my coffee cup. Well, because I thought of it, I instantaneously I've just started doing this, turn around and go get it. Instead of going, I'll get it next time, because I won't. Or if I set something down where it doesn't belong and I said, I'll get that when I come back. No, I stopped doing that. And it saves me so much energy rather than going, where did I put that? But just whenever these little red flags or these little things pop up in my mind, it's like, stop, Jeff, stop. Let's do that. Your glass, your cup, your thing, all these little things. And I think that helps.
I like that. I think what we're also talking about here is how are we individually defining energy? So I think for Robin and I think it's more of a mental energy potentially. So how do we replenish our mental energy? Whereas with Jeff, I think you're talking more about how do we replenish or keep my physical energy, or both. I don't want to discredit, but I think there's a difference in physical energy and mental energy and what drains each and how we replenish each.
Right.
Well, I think mental is part of it, because that moment when you reach for it and you go, oh, wait a second, where did I have that? So the mental part is frustration. Like every night I empty my pockets and I'll find 2 screws, maybe a tool, because I've been working out in the garage or doing other projects. And so I put them in one spot at the end of the night. And then in the morning, I usually go to that spot, grab that stuff and go put it away. Because especially with the change in the weather, I have an overcoat on or a sweatshirt, a hoodie. And so I have 6 pockets that I might have something in there from the day. But it's the intent of being organized and putting stuff away, because I can lose so much time by not having it. But when you talk about physical, there's something I do in a routine in the morning. I do leg raisers, and it was suggested to me by a physical therapist for an injury that I had. And I just stuck with it. And to me, even though the dog wants to go outside, I said, you got to wait. So I'm prioritizing my needs. And I think when you start looking at yourself and prioritizing things that you want, that it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's how we manage our time too. And I think all of us can probably manage time, quote unquote, better to prioritize and value what does really matter to us, which I think is what this also comes down to, is what do you value and what do you prioritize? But having said that, I want to just acknowledge, I don't think we often think about how we spend our time and where could we maximize it, or how could we utilize it better or differently so that we do feel more energized or recharged, or so we can keep getting up every day and doing the same thing that we enjoy doing. We want to help people, but we all get drained, all of us.
Yep, I agree. For me, I'm trying to be more intentional, because I absolutely love my dog, Lucky, and my clients know about Lucky. That's how much she impacts my life. So one thing that she does is she's very silly. So she'll randomly decide to roll on her back, and I can visualize what she's doing. So she'll roll on her back, and I can tell that she's kicking her legs in the air and just rolling back and forth and having a good time. So I try to listen to her, and then if I can, I'll step away from my desk and I'll play with her and we have a good time. So that helps me, as I think about it in that moment, feel more energized, because my adrenaline is spiking. I'm getting more happier just seeing how fun she's having in that moment. It kind of goes hand in hand, like mental and physical are separate, in terms of energy levels, but they also too simultaneously build off of one another. So for some people, when they engage in play, like a physical activity, like with my dog, that helps boost that mental energy to where it can kind of help you take a step back from what's going on. And vice versa, when you have that mental energy, you're more likely to be more physically engaged throughout the day.
I agree. It's interesting because they definitely impact each other. And so think about going for a walk. Going for a walk is great self-care. But sometimes it takes a lot of mental energy to get off that couch and go for that walk. And once you go for the walk, you feel better mentally. And so I think, they definitely impact each other, but it can be really challenging to get the mental energy up enough to do the physical thing that you want to do.
Yeah.
I play with my dog too. It's a good break as well. The mine's older and prefers just to get belly rubs and ear scratches, and
Yeah.
his play periods are shorter. But that does definitely re-energize me throughout the day.
I think when you take that time with the coffee in the morning or whatever you do in the morning and you project your day and stuff to check these boxes off mentally in your head, like lately with the weather changing, I had to drain the garden hoses. I had to put the bird bath away. I had to move the patio furniture and get ready for what we call winterizing here in Minnesota. And I'm sure you guys do a little bit of that in Colorado as the change in the weather happens. But to actually be in the afternoon and knowing, okay, the hoses are done for this year. This is done for that year. It's these things that probably took maybe an hour, maybe 5 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. But these little rewards, like when you're up for 16 hours during a day, by doing something for 20 minutes or an hour in the day, can make that entire day a success mentally in your head. Like, I achieved this, blah, 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 and it didn't take too much physical energy or anything. But then the next day, you might want to look at another thing that you can check off this virtual list that you have in your head of stuff to do.
Yeah.
I think a couple things come to mind, and one is check in with yourself throughout the day too. Like, how am I doing? What do I need? Can I do anything in this moment to help me feel better if I need to feel better or more energized, or whatever you're aiming for? And the other thing, real quick, I'll make this short, but I have a worksheet that I've done with clients on resiliency building. And it goes through and you write down like 20 things that you used to like to do or you still like to do. And then you rate them on, is this a thing I do alone or with people? Does it cost money? Is it free? Is it spontaneous, or does it take time to plan? And the goal is you want a mix of all of those. So you have things you can choose from that are solo, that are free, that don't take any time. You can just do them. Sometimes things take more planning and they're with people, and you want a mix of those too. But the activity is helpful, I think, in looking at different things we can do. And resiliency is not quite the same as self-care and wellness per se, but if we can build resiliency, we can then build better habits around our mental and physical wellness.
Well, that's true, because you're not as bogged down. I feel like the more resiliency you have, you're able to handle life's challenges
I agree.
better, and it's not so depleting. So that makes sense. And going off of that, Beth, you and I sometime last year talked about the self-care plan.
Yep.
And where you go through different phases of your life to evaluate the activities that you're doing. And if there are none, or if you feel like you need to add more, it really is an evaluation to check in with yourself. And so it can be physical, mental, spiritual, sleep, food-wise, all of that. I think that can be helpful too for people to have, okay, well, I need to improve in this area.
Yeah, there's different kind of domains of wellness, if you will. And like Robin said, there's spiritual, there's physical, intellectual, there's recreational, there's vocational. I don't know that any of us hit all of them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the goal is to have equal things in each of those buckets, if you will, to be fully well. But I think if we're aware of like, okay, I'm lacking spiritually and I do have beliefs I'd like to reconnect with, how can I do that? Or, vocationally, it's hard right now. A lot of my coworkers are getting laid off, as an example, and I still have a job, but I don't know for how much longer. What can I do vocationally to help myself feel more fulfilled? Is it more training? Is it a different job? So I think it's just always being aware of like, where are we in these domains?
Yep.
And if we're feeling like we're lacking, are there small things we can do? Even like, I'm going to go look for jobs with no intention to apply, but I want to see what's out there, as an example.
Or going off of that, best employment, being bogged down if you aren't getting a response from the job applications, setting expectations and saying, okay, so I know the job market's hard right now, especially with technology being incorporated, like AI and all of these different things. So I'm going to give myself a break. I'm going to cut myself some slack, and I'm going to be intentional on how I handle these applications if I do decide to apply.
One thing that I've learned that I really never practiced that much, but I've lately been doing it, is I have a show. It's the morning show, and it's season's running right now. And that's my Wednesday. That's my Wednesday night after supper, dinner. Supper or dinner? You two? Anyone? Supper?
Dinner.
Or
Dinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after dinner,
Supper's fine.
Right.
I got to know my audience. That's my moment. That's my time. I might make popcorn. I might just sit down, get myself a good water, and, enjoy it. And it feels good. It feels, that's kind of energizing in a sense, because I'm shutting down the world around me and going to this fictitious show for a while. Some people read books. I do read a little bit. And I like taking that time for myself to get away from everything else. And I think that is one of the best things you can do, because otherwise it's just, you are always tuned into everything, or even checking all your buckets or all the other to-do lists that you have going. Just that little bit of time for your brain just to be lost in that little world for a little while. It's rewarding.
It is rewarding. And by the way, I like the morning show too. I think they're on season 3. But yeah, it's a good
Season
show.
4.
Oh, okay. I missed a season somewhere. I think this is a really great topic, again, especially with the stressful times right now, and also too with the holidays approaching. Like we talked about last year, energy levels can be depleted during holidays for some people. So yeah, is there anything else that either one of you want to add?
No, I think we've covered this one as well as we can at this point in time. We'd love your feedback, though. What do you do for wellness? What do you find is helpful? Where do you want to make changes? We do get your feedback and your questions, and we're happy to hear from you. And you never know, you could be giving us an idea for our next podcast episode.
Yes, so definitely reach out. We enjoy hearing from you.
Until next time, take care and stay grounded.
Until next time, take care.
Thanks for listening. And until next time, bye-bye.
Oh yeah, Wellness Wednesday with Beth and Robin. Gonna settle it down. Oh yeah, get your feet planted on the ground.
For more podcasts with the blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com. And be sure to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to leave us some feedback, give us a call at 612-367-6093. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening, and until next time, bye-bye.
Wellness and taking care of ourselves. It's all about you and taking care of yourself. Oh yeah.
When we share
what we see
through each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap
between the limited
expectations
and the realities
of blind abilities.
and the realities of blind abilities.
abilities.